budget
Yep.
cutbacks. What can you do in Congress to make sure that the schools in Northern Virginia remain top?
Well, one issue, of course, is adequate funding, and several thousand jobs in Northern Virginia that were needed in the public school system were at stake. That's one of the reasons why I supported the stimulus. It brought more money in for the educational system, and why I supported the most recent stimulus, which would have averted 300,000 teacher layoffs across the country. I hope that won't happen, but that's the first thing, to ensure that they have adequate financial resources. But secondly, there's something more fundamental that we need to do, and that is to reform our whole public education process. We have some of the best schools in the nation, but they're not as good as they could be. One of the ways in which we evaluate schools is, I think, flawed. I think we should be evaluating schools on the basis of the educational growth that is achieved between September and June. Look at each individual student, regardless of their socioeconomic background. That needs to be factored in. But what we're doing now is taking a cookie cutter approach to all students. And in Fairfax, we have such a diverse student body, where so many students need to overcome ESL barriers, cultural barriers. That ought to be taken into account. And those schools in the most diverse areas with the greatest challenges ought to be recognized and rewarded the most for the growth that they achieve during the school year, and not compared to those schools that may come from a much more privileged socioeconomic background. So let's use a little more judgment, and I think Fairfax County schools are deeply deserving of getting all the resources that they need.